I'm actually not even ready because I'm sitting over here and I'm sending friends and family the latest episode of TC After Dark, and I'm dying. I'm dying. It is so funny.
I know.
It is so. We think it's hysterical.
We love it so much.
We love it.
We love it. We
love it.
Love it.
I think everybody else is going to love it too.
I think people are going to love it.
Tell you what else I love. The Play Gun Lake Casino for you Michiganders. Michigan, a 5.5-point favorite at Penn State. Got to think about that. Michigan, 5.5-point favorite at Penn State. I'll let you know tomorrow what I'm thinking of doing this weekend. Michigan State, 7-point underdog at Minnesota Monday night. It's like Michigan everywhere. Detroit, 8-point favorite hosting Las Vegas. My listeners in Michigan loving the Play Gun Lake Casino and Sportsbook app, the only app that I recommend in the great state of Michigan. Download the Play Gun Lake Casino app right now. All your favorite casino games will be right there, right in the palm of your hand. Good stuff. Odds and slots and bets and games. Get in on the action in real time during the game. That's fun. Have fun. What do they say? Bet with your head, not over it. I think you'll have a good time. Play Gun Lake Casino and Sportsbook app. It's your time to play. New users only. There's a casino bonus. It's got to be wagered. Terms and conditions apply. See the website at playgunlake.com for details. Got to be 21 and in Michigan. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117. Time now for the headlines from the Thursday edition of the Daily Newsletter and the website smerconish.com. Keep your eye on the website. This story in Maine is fast moving, and we are continually updating the website with the very latest. It's god awful. There's been too much of it. You've heard me say this before. I'm rather pessimistic in terms of it ever changing. I'm increasingly of the opinion that this is the price that we pay for living in this country because there's just not a groundswell to do that which is necessary to really bring about change. Too many guns in too many hands. Too many guns in too many hands. That's what makes us unique, fortified by the Second Amendment. It is such a busy news cycle that, like on any other day, we'd be talking all about the new House Speaker, Mike Johnson.
Who?
Yeah, I mean, it's. But hey, I'll be
that was
honest.
your thumbnail.
I am a political junkie. I think those credentials are well established. If you had asked me about him a week ago, I would not have had anything of substance to say to you.
I am not as much of a political junkie as you, but I usually do. Like, I recognize people. We see enough.
Yes.
We watch. I would not have. Like a visual thing, I would not have recognized him. If you had said, like, where is he? What is this? Who is this man? I would have not had any idea.
Listen to this. This is really curious. From Axios.
But I think that helped him.
What's that?
I think that helped him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, go ahead.
X the unknown.
Right.
So now, but to that point, now the race is on to define him. Okay? So here's what Axios says. The 51-year-old lawyer didn't have a national profile until this week. His 20-year paper trail is an opposition researcher's dream. Like me, he's been writing columns for a long, long time. So, like, there's a record. So critics are pulling out and saying this guy's really extreme. I mean, on abortion, he posted in January, quote, "We will get the number of abortions to 0 in Louisiana after the fall of Roe. Sexual orientation and gender identity. Your race, creed, and sex are what you are, while homosexuality and cross-dressing are things you do. Criminalizing gay sex. Quote, states have many legitimate grounds to prescribe same-sex deviant sexual intercourse," he wrote previously. On Trump and Trump's election denialism, Johnson led the way in shaping legal arguments that became gospel among GOP lawmakers who sought to derail Biden's path to the White House, even after all but the most extreme options had elapsed. Okay, meanwhile, the story that's in Smerconish.com today from Politico, because I thought this was really unique, and I'm like, this guy I know. It's a story about no labels, and it focuses on Brian Fitzpatrick, who represents a purple district in the burbs of Philly, you know, the congressional district in which I was born and raised. Headline, "No Labels Call," is that Speaker Mike Johnson is not a Trump Republican, notwithstanding what I just told you. And then Brian Fitzpatrick is quoted as saying he's a Reagan Republican, not a Trump Republican.
You know who disagrees with that? President Trump.
Right.
Who's taking full credit for this.
True.
Full credit. And I think Mike Johnson disagrees with that. I mean, he's the one that said, has tweeted, and there's nothing to hide in this now. He's been fully supportive of President Trump and was instrumental in, as you just said, the trying to legally overturn the election. So I think it's ridiculous to say he's not a MAGA Trump Republican. Yeah. You know what the difference is? Evidently.
Yeah.
He's nice.
Right. With a smile on his face.
Is that worse?
Civil.
So he'll be like that and then stab you in the back?
I don't know
if you're gay.
I don't know that he's stabbing you in the back. You know, he's voting his conscience and probably the conscience of those that he represents in the great state of Louisiana. I have an explanation as to why Brian would say that.
Please.
Because, there will be an accountability for Brian. Those points that I just read to you about the new House Speaker don't fly in Bucks County. That is not an agenda that gets you elected in a general election.
As a Republican.
Might get you nominated in a primary. Right. And, Brian is always somewhat on the cusp. He's a no-labels guy, problem solver guy. So it's in his best interest if the people in his district think this guy is more Reagan than he is Trump.
Right.
So...
But I mean, all the Republicans voted for him. Not one didn't.
Right.
So at least, you can say that. And I think there's also a point to be made of it was time. We needed to get someone in there,
and you know what? Matt Gaetz, for all that Matt Gaetz has sustained in terms of criticism, Matt Gaetz can legitimately say to his constituents, both in Florida and nationally, I was the catalyst in getting rid of Kevin McCarthy and replacing him with a more conservative individual.
100% he can say that.
Right.
100%. Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes.
I was struck by Johnson saying yesterday in his speech that God brought each and every one of us here. And I wondered if there was anyone sitting in that audience who did not agree that God brought them there. I was fascinated by the whole thing. Not on the front pages anymore.
On any other day.
Right.
On any other day.
Yeah.
I'm an Arnold fan.
Yes.
I've been an Arnold fan for a long, long time. I agree with the governor when he says, I feel like I would make a great president, adding that everything he's accomplished is because of America. Of course, he can't be because we have a natural-born citizen requirement, and Schwarzenegger was born in Austria. What a shame. Arnold, I agree. Arnold would have made a hell of a president.
Oh,
yeah. Absolutely. And we've talked about this before. The Netflix special, if you're looking for something to watch.
Oh, my goodness.
The way that it's broken up into 3 parts, and one is him conquering the world of bodybuilding. Great footage, fun interviews. He's such an engaging personality. And then it's Schwarzenegger talking about his movie career and then his political career.
What's important is that what you just said is the footage.
It's great.
The old footage.
It's so well produced.
Staggering.
Yep.
I mean, it's just incredible.
Yep.
Yeah.
You go with him back to the old country. Yeah. It's fun stuff, and he's very open about his father and his father's Nazi ties, and it's really great. It's really great. So much good TV. Poll results from yesterday at Smerconish.com. 21,262 on this. Should major university donors have a say in the school's stance on geopolitical issues? 70.84% said no, they should not. There is a link at Smerconish.com today about the Palestine Rights, WRITES festival that was held at Penn that has become a flashpoint in all this. It's a great piece talking about, I remember I said yesterday and I said the day before that I've looked and there's just really not a definitive account of what happened there. What's it all about? Who spoke? Why the controversy? Go and read that piece. And then I love this just in terms of, I love the expression, I love the story on the issue of college students and, geopolitical affairs, a story from Mediaite about Leon Cooperman, who is a hedge fund billionaire and Columbia graduate. Do you want to offer the expression, or are you leaving that for me?
I will leave it for you, but I similarly think that it is, obviously the topic, the content is very serious.
Right.
But the expression he used is just
needs to be brought back.
Because it is so cutting that there is no recovery from it.
Right. So The hedge fund billionaire is a Columbia grad. He is displeased with his alma mater. He told Fox Business that college kids today have, quote, shit for brains.
Shit for brains.
Haven't heard that for years.
I will now be used. If I don't use that today, I will be disappointed. I'm not sure how I'm going to work it in or
It's
to
great.
whom I will say that.
It's great.
But it is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's poll question, which has the greatest likelihood of reining in addictive aspects of social media? The platforms, parents, legislators, or litigators?
It's a great question.
Frances Haugen, the Facebook whistleblower, on today's program with keen insights into the algorithms, how we got where we are. The reason that I'm asking this is because of yesterday's story talking about 41 states, their attorneys general have gotten together now to sue Meta and say, like, you're responsible for this mental health crisis among American youth. So she's great, and I can't wait to see. My vote is for litigators. The trial lawyer in me says that so many times in the past, think baby products, think ATVs, think automobiles, think medical devices. So many times in the past, the government regulatory framework has failed to bring about necessary change. But trial lawyers, everybody hates trial lawyers until they need one. But trial lawyers have often gotten it done and brought about safety changes that were necessary.
We need a seatbelt. We need a helmet. We need a governor.
Right.
We need all of those things.
Right. Absolutely.
And the legislators aren't doing it, so maybe the litigators will.
Absolutely. Steve Breen is the Thursday editorial cartoonist. You will love what he has today in the newsletter. And now I am flat out saying, circle the date, Wednesday, November 1, next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm working on something. It'll be exclusive for subscribers to the newsletter, no cost involved, but it's going to be one of these like we did before where there'll be a link in the Wednesday newsletter, and that will entitle you to something special at 7 p.m. that night.
Ooh,
so
save the date.
So keep that in mind. Would love to have you there. The last time was really terrific. Okay, more headlines now from the Thursday edition of the Smerconish.com daily newsletter. We are in stitches loving TC After Dark.
I mean, stitches.
Yeah, I didn't understand it when you said you wanted to. Do you want to play some of it?
Well, I wasn't going to give away the way it started, but I kind of have to because it is so funny. So let's just give the idea is that I pitched to you that I would like to have you back on TC After Dark.
Thank you.
A serial guest.
Third time's a charm.
And one that I really appreciate. And what I wanted to talk to you about today was lunch.
Lunch. Yep, let's do lunch.
Let's do lunch. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Let's do lunch. And that's what we talked about. But the funny part is that we literally turned off the studio light and turned on TC After Dark.
Right.
And the way TC After Dark usually begins for people who are in the know is with music. That's the way it usually begins. Today's TC After Dark was a little different. This is the way today's TC After Dark begins.
1 2 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2.
Okay, hang on. I got to do my intro.
Okay, go ahead. I have 2 words to say to you. Lunch meats.
Stop.
Come on, do the intro.
And then it goes. And then it goes. And it goes on. And we did indeed talk about lunch.
Yeah,
and
all my habits revealed.
The two of us.
And some of yours too.
Love it. We love it. We listened to it again this morning.
Yeah.
We're in hysterics.
We don't care if any of you listen. We think you'd really love it if you did.
You'll love it.
But honest to God, it's provided so much humor and joy for the two of us.
Correct.
We're fine on that basis alone.
You know why? Because we like talking about lunch so much. So I was right that it would be a good topic for you because, by the way, you had things to say.
And you made me realize some things about my own habits that I guess I knew, but I hadn't really focused upon.
Yeah.
So I like real food.
Yes, you do.
That's what I like. I like real food.
And you like real food from real people.
Yep.
And you laid it out. You name names.
Oh, yeah.
So if people are local to our area, you'll really get an insight.
Yep.
It's like the diners, drive-ins, and dives version of TC After Dark.
I'm glad that we've already recorded and dropped TC After Dark, the lunch special or whatever it is you're calling it.
Right.
Because I felt good when we taped it. I'm at 90% today.
Hey, I was at, I would say, like 73 yesterday. So you're stronger, better at it than I am.
I had both a flu shot and the latest COVID. By the way, By the way,
Vaccine? What are we calling
Are we
it?
over the days, the COVID booster? Are we over the days when you keep your
Yes.
card and everything else?
I brought my card.
I had a bad experience yesterday. Bad defined as a local pharmacy, a chain pharmacy.
I did this
because there's another one I like to go to, and
Wait a minute.
they're good people.
I did this on Monday.
It
What
was a shit show.
Mine too.
It was terrible.
How long did you wait?
Okay, here's how it began.
Okay.
Here's
Oh,
how it
shoot.
began. First of all, I stood in line. They were like 8 deep. And then when I finally got up to the counter, the woman who didn't even look up was very surly. I ended up feeling sorry for her because I just took in the entire environment. They are so overworked.
Yes.
So overworked. It is such a depressing work environment. That
No light, no natural light.
no nothing,
Yeah.
and people who are sick and grumpy.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, this is the trial lawyer in me. Mistakes are going to get made. Mistakes are
Wow, so I didn't think of that part.
I'm standing there in line, right? And I'm just like watching the whole thing. And so you've got a number of people in line, and everybody's there for either a shot or just their normal scripts and so forth. And there are three
they
people.
had the same line for scripts and shots?
No. But my line was for shots,
Oh,
and then there was
okay.
another
I was
line.
going to say, whoa.
So there were only 3 people working. And meanwhile, like, there's this pharmacy call, pharmacy call, pharmacy call.
Doctor on line 3.
Pharmacy call.
Right.
And it went on and on and on, and nobody moves a muscle. They're overworked. They're totally over, and shit's gonna happen because I'm like looking at the pharmacist pouring pills in, and like this great. You know what it's like? It's like in It's a Wonderful Life. Didn't the pharmacist give the wrong medicine to the kid and he died, and George Bailey saved him, or
What?
some such
Is
thing?
that what it was?
Yeah. So
Well, my appointment was at 4 p.m.
wait, I want to tell you that. Okay.
4 p.m. on Monday, and I'll tell you when I actually got jabbed.
Okay, you told me, hey, do you want to go get an appointment? Here's a link. You should go do it, you said to me.
Yes.
I took the link and I made the appointment. Thank you. So we went to the same place.
Correct.
Okay. My appointment was at 2:30. When I finally got up to the counter, the woman who wouldn't look up at me said, what time's your appointment? And I said 2:30. And she said, we don't make appointments for 2:30. I'm like, oh my God, am I in the wrong, the
wrong
so
one.
I quickly go to my calendar function, 2:30. There it is. I'm like, here you go. And she's like, well, we don't make appointments at 2:30. You're 3rd or 4th in line. You just stand over there. And I don't know. It was just, and like,
Wait,
there's
but
no,
what time did you finally get the shots?
probably 3:15.
Yeah.
Probably
so mine
3:15,
was at
3:20.
4,
Yeah.
4:42.
Right.
4:42.
Are we Louis C.K. complaining now?
No, because the guy who was doing the shots was so chatty that the first person that was there when I was outside, and it's like a little box, so you could hear them inside.
No privacy.
No privacy.
No privacy.
I mean, you don't see them, but you can hear
And
them.
by the way, I'm standing in line. I just said screw it. I took off my shirt, and I was wearing like
I
a
was
sport
so
coat and a
ready.
shirt. I just took off everything. I'm standing there in a t-shirt, like I'm ready.
Let's go. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm the one that's like, guys, like there are 4 people ahead of me in line, and then there are the people that are chatting about the Phillies game. Chatty.
Right.
I'm like, guys, when we go in there, nobody say a word, and they're everybody's dying outside because everybody agrees. So once that guy left,
There was a woman in front of me with an aide, an older woman in a wheelchair with a healthcare assistant. And the older woman was cranky and borderline obnoxious.
Oh, dear.
Saying to the healthcare aide, I don't see anybody moving. I don't see anybody moving.
She's not
I don't
wrong.
see anybody.
She's not wrong.
Okay, and 30 minutes later, I'm like, I'll have what she's having.
She's not wrong.
She speaks for me.
she is so right. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bad system. I don't know what the system was, but it was bad.
Do you want to know something else that's funny?
Yes.
As I'm standing there and I'm in line for like 30 minutes and it's just unsettling, I start saying to myself, what did Bobby Kennedy tell me?
Stop.
Like, do I
need this? This
do
might
I
be a
need
bad
this? I could get
idea.
out of here right now.
I think I'm starting right
It's a
now. I'm
beautiful day.
anti-vax.
Right, it's a beautiful
Oh,
day.
and it is the most beautiful week, the most beautiful autumnal week in our area.
I wanted to get the flu shot. I was not sure about the COVID
I got both
booster.
in the same arm, and it is.
So did
I'm
I.
telling you, I'm
So did
still
I.
sore.
I
I'm
don't feel
off.
sore. I just feel a little. There's something different about me today.
Yeah, no, I feel off.
Okay, in the category of what is wrong with our kids today.
Oh,
This from UCLA. Adolescents prefer to see less sex and more friendships on screen.
wait, you're having an issue with that?
Hell, yeah.
Why do you give yourself away so much? What is it about you?
Now I'm going to give myself away.
Here we go.
You remember yesterday we talked about Jennifer Lawrence?
2 days ago, but
Okay,
yes.
Hunger Games, Jennifer Lawrence.
Well, that's not what you're remembering her about now, are you?
So I had to see it. I had to take a peek. So on Netflix, there's this new movie, and it's called No Hard
You
Feelings.
did not watch it.
So
I'm dying. Did you?
the premise of it, I give her such credit for doing the movie. It is a total Animal House, Slapshot, Caddyshack kind of thing.
Wow.
Okay, Matthew, I better not sell it too much because then people will be upset with me by tuning in.
Is it good?
You wouldn't like it, but
I wouldn't. Personally, I like Jennifer Lawrence.
If you like sophomoric humor, as I do, if you like nudity, as I do, if you like profanity, as I do, then watch it. But if you don't like those things, and you're one of these like millennials who doesn't wants to see platonic relationships, this is not for you. So the premise is that Matthew Broderick, Ferris Bueller,
Sure.
Okay, Matthew Broderick is and his wife live in this mansion, and they, just in line with what we're talking about of kids behind closed doors,
Yeah.
they have a very nerdy son who, of course, is about to go to where? Princeton.
Oh, come on.
But he's never lived. He's never had relationships. He's never consumed alcohol, yada, yada, yada. So they hire Jennifer Lawrence to date him.
As what? What is
date
her
him.
part of, where is she in life? Is she a sex worker?
No, she's not a sex worker.
Is that what
but-
they want her to do?
Yeah. Yeah, they
okay.
want that. And so she's got financial problems, so she's trying to hold on to her house.
But he doesn't know that. The son doesn't know that.
No. It's a very thin plot. It's a very But can I tell you something? After speaking on radio like yesterday for 2.5 hours and talking about the situation in Gaza, and we didn't even know about the situation in Maine and all of this really heavy
It was a good
news.
break, huh?
If you need a diversion and you want to see Jennifer Lawrence, I almost said Aniston, get out of the
sure people
ocean
would want to
naked.
see
And by the
that
way,
too.
she says, yes, that is me. There was no body double. That was her. Then I recommend it to you.
Okay, there you go.
If you have my very juvenile tastes, then check it out on Netflix.
There you go.
By the way, one last thing. Gronk wants less Taylor Swift
He's no fun.
in the NFL broadcast. That has to be a poll question. Do you agree with Gronk that there should be less Taylor Swift shown during NFL broadcasts? That is like the Sunday question.
You got it.
That's the Sunday question. Please go listen to TC After Dark. Honest to
Yes,
God, it
this
is
week.
so funny. It is so funny. We think so. And some of it's true. And some of it is true. See ya.